Okay,
Hand.
hello. It is Phoenix and Diamond. We are here to look at some games that do not exist.
Oh yeah.
um, Let me see if I can set the mood because there is an official soundtrack for Vermis. Um,
Yeah.
I just have to
Well,
figure out how to actually play it on OBS so that it records.
um,
I think it's capturing.
I think so.
Let me move.
Yeah, so we can properly see.
Yes, okay, so it does look like it's capturing from YouTube. This is Vermis Sounds of the World Volume 1 Melodies of the Unknown by Radagast full album. So I believe this is an official album collaborated between Radagast, known as Joshua Carlson, and Plastiboo. These books are from a publisher called HoloPress. I believe they're in the UK. So if you're in the US, I highly recommend you getting these books as soon as possible before our ability to trade with the rest of the world is completely bunked. Completely broken. Yeah, I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get these, and then I contacted the company like, oh, will you do PDFs of these? They said they will not ever do PDFs of these. So if you want the physical, if you want to experience this for yourself, get it from HoloPress. Get it as soon as possible. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description to these. This is Vermis 1, Vermis 2, and Godhusk Rebirth. They are all by the artist Plastiboo. I've seen so many videos of these, and I've just wanted to experience this. So me and Diamond are gonna go into this as if it is as if these are actual games, and like treating them as though they are games and as though we are exploring those games. So trying to not just like rawly go through the book, we'll be making commentary because we want this to be our experience. But I highly recommend getting the books for yourself so you can experience them in your own way first as well. So if you're here to see how we experience the books. As you see, I created custom reactives for us. I'm inspired by just all the many green skeletons I've seen in the artwork. And
I am inspired by the main character.
The main character of the second book, because the first one doesn't technically have a main character. It's more like a character select. But the second book is supposed to be the main character of the second book. And then I don't know anything about this one. You can almost see my reflection in that. I don't know anything about Godhusk. I just know it's also by Plastiboo, but it's a totally different setting. But I was just like, it looks really interesting, so I wanted to look through it as well. It gives me H.R. Geiger vibes, but with less, penis. Anyways. So let's start with the first one. This might be multiple videos, we'll see. I just put down a cloth in front of my desk to keep you from seeing all the gross stuff underneath it. Okay, this is Vermis, Lost Dungeons and Forbidden Woods, official guide by Plastiboo and HoloPress.
Yeah. Also, if you want to get these and you're worried about like everything, usually they'll send them by FedEx, and FedEx does
so I contacted the company because
the bullshit.
At the current moment, we're having issues with our tariff situation when it comes to the US. And I contacted the company directly at this time, like we're currently in September 2025. I contacted them and they said if I had it sent through FedEx, it would bypass any kind of weird tariff situation, so that's how I got these. I don't know if that's going to change in the future. That's why I wanted to be like, this is September 2025. I don't know what the future situation is going to be, so that's how I managed to get these without there being any kind of really weird trade consequences. Anyway. A corpse kneels beside a well, mesmerized by the reflection of its living flesh. It wonders what could have been done and could have been, and for as long as the moon shines, the feeble illusion will prevail. So I've heard so far that like this is possibly the player character. So this is kind of who you are at the start, and then you have to like choose.
You have to select your class.
You have to select a flesh. So a light sparks in the dark. Which flesh is your flesh? So it's kind of like your character select. The types of flesh.
Showing two of them.
Yeah, so the good. Light cannot be faded by darkness. It will shine even in the darkest corners of the world. The evil. Darkness is eternal, infinite. Oh, the fold of the book is giving me a little bit of trouble there. Darkness is eternal, infinite, unrelenting. No one can escape it. We are born in light and rot in the dark. So if this is our first option in the game, would we choose good or evil?
Which one are we really hankering to do?
I think it's kind of like an Undertale tradition to always pick good first and see how that gets you through the game. And then you would come back around and play evil.
Yeah. Because, like, with Undertale tradition, you always do, like, the pacifist route first. And then, like, after that, you could do, like, the aborted genocide or, like, the genocide route. Because if you do the genocide route first, you fuck up the entire thing and you will never be able to get the true pacifist route ever.
Yeah, because the game
playthroughs.
In Undertale, the game remembers your actions. So if you've proved that you're like an awful person to begin with, it's less likely to trust you. So if you go through doing the good route first, you can get more content, basically.
Yeah, and there is a way to get around it. I have actually helped a friend do it before because they fucked up their true pacifist route by just... They did a whole genocide route and wanted to do a true pacifist, and I was like, oh, there's a way to do that.
They probably have to remove, like, the game data from the computer or something.
Yeah, you do. You basically have to. You have to uninstall it and then, like, delete all the leftover game data.
Yeah. Okay. Beware the states that can permanently damage your flesh and mind. Infection, dread, slumber, which I think is really odd. Do you not need to sleep? Should you not sleep in this world? It's just an odd one.
Well, there's status ailments that is like inflicting sleep.
I suppose if you're in the middle of a fight and get slumber, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, like that would probably fuck you over really bad. It's kind of like Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
to me.
I can get that. Petrification, curse. Curse looks really wild.
How I view curse with this, because like I've been like looking at the page. How I view curse is like how Dark Cloud does it. With when you get hit with curse in Dark Cloud, you cannot change your weapon unless you heal yourself of that curse.
Interesting. What is that meme where it's the dad from Incredibles and it slowly gets more and more corrupted? That's what
the uncanny. Uncanny Valley meme.
Yeah, that reminds me of that. Insanity. The man is just ready for a Big Mac. That's what it looks like to me.
Man's just losing his mind.
Blindness.
I think
this looks like the sockets are really wide.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's a mixture of Dark Cloud and Final Fantasy. Because when you're blind, you're not able to, like, see very well in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you miss a lot. All your attacks tend to miss when you're blind. And with Insanity, I kind of think it's a berserk state.
Could be, yeah.
Where your character loses control, like the Haunting Ground.
Yeah.
If you know that game.
Yeah. So there's possession. Your face just gets a little wider, like there's somebody else in your head. That's my interpretation of that. And I believe this is white hives. I believe that says hives. It's hard to tell with the old English text. Or it's old vibes.
Yeah.
The world is brimming with death and horror. Sometimes we cannot help getting hurt, but some wounds are more grievous than others.
Yeah, like I kind of view the possession one, and I don't remember what the other one was. The possession one, I kind of view it as like your controls get fucked up.
Could
like,
be. Yeah.
Your controls get inverted, and then the what is that? I cannot read it.
This one?
Yeah.
I think that's White Hives. I think it's a world-specific infliction, if I remember correctly from someone's video.
Yeah. You could view it as the Scarlet Rot, maybe.
Maybe.
But that's an Elden Ring thing.
Okay, I think this is our classes.
Yeah, the types of flesh.
Lost old glory, once a hero, now a lost soul without a purpose in life. Where are his beloved ones, the people he once fought for? He stood against many indescribable horrors, but always came back. The wandering angel. These devoted knights are on a journey to join their beloved goddess in death. They have to travel all the way to their sacred mountain and then pull the halo placed around their helmets to decapitate themselves. Yeah, that's the one I was telling you about. Where they cut off their heads and there's a whole bunch of heads on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah, they're like a screwed up version of a paladin.
Yeah, they like are really
because they're described as
messed up paladin.
Yeah, because they're described as knights, whereas the first one, it's kind of giving me like
maybe fighter.
Normal, yeah.
Fighter, paladin.
Like,
maybe.
Yeah.
Princesses nailed. Their loyalty knows no limits. All of them are their princess's tool to achieve anything she wishes for. The death of the crown's enemies, unattainable treasures, peace, war. They will accomplish their goals or die trying.
Sounds like a warlock.
Could be.
Like a Hexblade warlock, specifically.
I know in D&D 5th edition, there's like a subclass of fighter that is specifically a knight.
Oh yeah, let me look it up.
Could be a ranger, maybe.
Yeah, a ranger. That's different. Oh god. I know there's the Eldritch Knight, but that one's a magic user.
Yeah, that's Eldritch Knight is still a subclass of a fighter. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's a rarer subclass where you're like a royal knight.
Yeah.
It's like in a weird book or something. It's not in the standard.
Yeah. I think it's in one of the other like mods that you can buy for like
D&D. Yeah, because I think I remember seeing it in a book that I didn't end up getting. Anyway, the Mad Pricker. Their origins are yet unknown. Some say they are some kind of cult. Others think that they are mindless minions to an evil god. Their armor is covered with deadly infected spikes. Their handcuffs do not allow them to hold any weapons. I think that might be a barbarian.
That might be a monk. That might be a monk.
Well, monks wouldn't wear heavy armor though.
It could be a mixture of a monk and a barbarian.
Maybe.
Because a monk is strictly barehanded because they cannot wield weapons for the life of them unless they have a feat. And a barbarian, well, I think monks can wear heavy armor somewhat if they get a feat for that.
Yeah. The Stone Scholar. Their faces are compressed against the stones that they tie to their heads. They live in constant pain, but that sacrifice grants them infinite wisdom. They are experts in mud sorcery and wickedly smart, but their bodies are frail. That's gotta be a druid.
Oh, yeah. Like with the wild magic.
Mm-hmm. Waste of life. Expelled from all the villages, hated by everyone, has committed many crimes and been cursed multiple times, but he shows no remorse. I think that might either be like a thief or a monk.
It could be a rogue.
A rogue, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a rogue, because rogues tend to need to be stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And they are oftentimes not light.
Merc Sage. They possess incredible mind-twisting powers that allow them to create all kinds of illusions and trick their enemies. Their big metal heads work as catalysts for their powers. They are completely defenseless in daylight. That might be like a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Infant Seeker. A mother on a quest to retrieve her lost child taken from her by a witch. In these lands, young children disappear often. The birth rate is very low, and witches are in a constant search for the precious delicacy. It's gotta be a cleric. I must call that. Infant Seeker's gotta be a cleric.
A very messed up cleric.
Minor Knight. These knights are born and raised in the Petulant Mines. This granted them a very high tolerance to toxins and diseases. In the dark, their senses develop greatly. They can hear, smell, and almost like they can hear, smell, and see almost like a creature of the night. I would call that a warlock.
Maybe.
And a Ratman. Become Ratman. That's all it says.
Oh my god.
That's all we have to say about the Ratman. Just become Ratman.
Just become Rat.
I guess that you could see that as like
it could be a joke class.
Could be a druid as well.
Yeah, a druid that specifically wanted to use like polymorph to become rat.
Become rat. Cursed Fool. A brave warrior who faced a terrible loss. He found a mysterious whispering rock that told him the way to bring back his loved one from the dead. Since then, he has been slave to the whispers. Oh, brothers hearing the rocks talk.
Oh god. Smells like a form of schizophrenia.
Yeah, that's what I suspect. Prophet, the last member of a religion that was persecuted and eradicated by the crown. They worshipped an old world god that granted them countless miracles and showed them grim prophecies of a dark future.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the rock guy could be like a wizard. I think we haven't like covered wizard yet.
We have a lot of messed up forms of like warlocks, wizards, and sorcerers.
Of course, we're not making exact equivalents here. We're just kind of pulling from our own experience for fun and trying to see where it lines up. We got a whole bunch of skulls and bones here. Your flesh will be temporary. This decision only has the weight you choose to give it. So, I guess we can change our class at any time? Is that what I'm assuming from that? Oh, this is more about the classes. Okay. Stone Scholar. Stoneless scholars are condemned to miserable, pitiful lives, unable to see or smell due to the scars left by the rocks that were held to their faces for ages and stripped of their knowledge. They crawl in search of the power they lost. Stoneless Scholar. Stone Staff. A staff made out of tiny merged rocks. It helps the scholar walk and cast spells. Yeah, okay, this is sounding more like a wizard. Stone Bone. Shaped like a vertebra, one of these stones is inserted in a scholar's back as a sign of devotion. So, I'm assuming the white means lacking strength. So high in intelligence, high in faith, a little lacking on will, but only a bit. They are more evil than good. Waste of life. Some say that this individual is not a human at all, but the very embodiment of all our flaws. Every single one of his actions is driven by his madness and greed. Has escaped from punishment many times and never learned a lesson. Beloved necklace. A shiny necklace with a portrait of a young boy inside, probably stolen. A bone dagger. A dagger carved out of a long bone. So, only a tiny bit stronger than our wizard. A little less intelligent than the wizard, but still very intelligent. No faith whatsoever. And matching will with the wizard. Completely evil. There's nothing in there.
You would not want to do that if you're doing a pacifist or a good route.
Merc Sage. Oh, okay, I remember these guys. Merc Sages are masters of the illusionary arts. They can, this is the one I said was probably like a sorcerer. They can bend shadows to create all kinds of nightmares. When the darkness is gone, their power shrinks greatly. They can survive with the little darkness inside their helmets, but without shadows, they are defenseless. Sage's disciple. A Corsair? Crosier? I don't know what that means.
Corsair?
Corsair? A Corsair? Corsair?
Corsair.
Corsair.
Corsair?
That can also be used as a mace. It depicts the visage of a merc sage. Moon Murderer. A talisman for vanishing the moon for a night. If crushed, the light will be pitch dark. So they're very weak, very intelligent. They only have like a little bit of faith and a little bit of will. They're only a tiny bit good.
Mm-hmm.
But their face sucks. Merc Sage casting a spell. When Merc Sages cast their spells, they raise their corsures and swing them left to right while chanting the appropriate incantations. During the process, they are vulnerable to attacks. That is why they always keep their distance from their enemies or hide in the shadows where their power rises greatly. An illusion is the best when the victim does not know where it is coming from, or even if it is real. Although at times, knowing that sometimes is not real does not make it less frightening.
Man.
The Infant Seeker. The loving mother will not rest until she meets with her child once again. Memories from brighter days are her source of determination. No matter how long the arduous the journey is, hope remains intact. The Mum Doll.
Oh.
A small doll made out of gray hair. The wicker basket used to carry the ingredients she gathers for her meals. She has no strength whatsoever. She's mildly intelligent. She's a little lacking on faith, but she is extremely willful. She's only slightly evil, but mostly good. Definitely a cleric.
She's insanely strong-willed.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're a mom and your kid gets kidnapped, I imagine that you would be.
Yeah. Like, I imagine you'd be in despair for a bit, and then, like, as soon as that despair leaves, it turns into something else, and you're just like, oh shit, I want to beat the fuck out of that witch.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill some fucking witches.
I'm gonna kill some witches.
Lost Old Glory. Trapped in his memories, unable to process the past, this old glory wanders through the dark woods and forgotten villages, trying to find a purpose in life. Broken Badge. A symbol of pride and the reminder of the past. Witch Tongue. Once severed from its witch, it trembles whenever an evil presence is nearby. Interesting. So he's only tiny lacking on strength. He's about a midway intelligence. Very low on faith, and not very good will. He's only a little bit evil.
Like, if we were to do this 2-player, we would probably do well with a Infant Seeker and the Lost Old Faith.
Yeah, you want to balance these aspects out, I would assume.
Yeah, because, like, you know, Infant Seeker's pretty weak. She's got an insane will and some faith. Meanwhile, your Lost Old Faith is, like, pretty strong and lacking on the other two that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wandering Angel. Once they reach the peak of their sacred mountain, they pull their halos and their heads fall off the cliff. A pile of helmets full of rotten flesh lie on the other side of the mountain. Gilak's servants are in charge of gathering the rest of the equipment from the bodies and taking it back to the temple. Oh boy. Gilak statuette. Gilak is often represented as a coiled snake with a woman's head. Snake Fang. The angels pierce themselves with these fangs to release a poison that makes them go berserk. It's weird.
Huh.
Your cult is weird.
Cult's worse than, like, what I usually gotta deal with. God damn.
So they're only a little lacking on strength. They're very stupid. They're very fucking stupid.
They're dumb. I mean, they're literally cutting their own head off. What do you...
They are literally cutting their own heads off. They're very stupid. Their faith is out the fucking roof, but they have no will of their own. They're very unwilled to do anything. They're very stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They're slightly good than some, but mostly evil.
Oh, yeah.
The princess's nail. The princess herself ties a lock of her hair to her loyal knight's sword so they can feel her presence and love with them during battle. Committed to their princess's wishes, the nails never question their duty. Devotion symbol. A lock of hair tightly tied around the handle of a long sword. Bone fermenter. A potion that makes bones extremely fragile. That's weird.
Huh.
They're surprisingly pretty weak. They're not very strong. They're a little stupid. They're a little oopid. It's interesting that they have no faith, but they're extremely high-willed.
Yeah, because they're only faithful to their princess.
So maybe faith is more like supernatural belief.
Or, like, maybe it's tied to, like, someone in the party? Maybe?
They can be good or evil. They're pretty equally balanced.
They're like 50-50.
Yeah, it just depends on what the princess wants, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Whoever this princess is, excuse me. Mad Pricker. Rumor has it that the interiors of their helmets are covered with spikes as well. This is true. Their chaotic and hostile nature could be a misreading of their intentions as they desperately seek help to end their constant torture.
Oh, Jesus.
Now,
Christ.
if you illustrate it for me, that's going to tell me that it's true. I'm going to believe that.
Yeah, especially since that illustration's right there.
Iron handcuffs. Covered with spikes, these handcuffs serve both as weapons and as protection and compact. And their second weapon is completely blank. Who fucking knows? They don't
wield anything because of the handcuffs.
They're about mid-strength, mid-intelligence, a little low on faith, and a little low on will. So they're actually kind of pretty mid. And we have no idea what their morality is whatsoever.
Yeah. It's probably because they're insane.
Yeah. Minor Knight. The pestilent mines were once a place that provided materials and goods to the capital and the lower villages. Now they only provide knowledge to those who dig in search of secrets of the old world. They have scented oil, fuel for a miner's lamp. It slightly alleviates the smell of death. Lovely. Glowing spores. Glowing spores used in the mines to mark the Forbidden Pass. They're a little bit more evil than they are good. They're pretty good on strength. They're a little oopid. They have very little faith, but they are strong-willed. About midway strong-willed.
Yeah.
The Rat Man!
Rat Man, become rat.
Become rat. The Rat Man was once a man afflicted by a curse, but with time, he ended up losing his humanity. No memories of the man it once remained. It has been wandering in the capital sewers for so many years it has become a fable to scare children. Excuse me.
Man.
The Beast Eye, capable of ferociously tracking any prey in the dark. Beast Tongue. Infected with numerous bacteria, a single bite can cause serious poisoning. Okay. Their strength is mid. They're actually... They're still oopid, but not, like, super oopid. They have no faith.
They're not, like, super dumb.
And they have a tiny amount of will. And they're mostly evil than good, which I'm surprised they even have that much good, honestly.
I mean, it could depend on the man who becomes the rat.
The man who becomes the rat. That sounds slightly philosophical.
Philosophy.
Cursed Fool. The Whisper is the remains of an ancient statue. Its edges have been polished by the hands of those who have handled it with mistrust. Some say the stone whispers will guide its owner to achieve their deepest desires, while others think that those who listen to the stone are cursed fools, slaves to its whisper. Strength gauntlets. Enchanted gauntlets capable of greatly raising their wearer's strength. The Whisperer. Legends are told about the Whispering Stone. Only the people who are desperately seeking the unachievable can hear it. They're pretty strong. They're a little oopid. They got a mid-faith, and they're very strong-willed. And they're 50-50 on good or evil.
It just depends on what the stone wants, I guess.
Whatever the voices are telling me today, I guess.
Ooh.
The prophet.
Okay, a prophet.
Marco, the old world god, shared his knowledge and prophecies with his devoted worshippers. Even though Marco was decapitated long ago, his mummified head can still talk to those who know how to listen. Soon after the god's beheading, his visions started to show a future full of death and decay. Effigy of Marco. After Marco's head was defiled, the effigies became some of the few remaining images of the god's former semblance. Incense bag. Contains incense used in prayers and purifying rituals. They have very little strength. They're a little oopid. Very high faith. Out through the roof. And moderately willed. They only have a little bit evil. Which is interesting.
They're a prophet. They're a prophet. They follow a god.
I know, but it's still kind of... I don't know. I don't trust it.
It's surprising, to say the least.
Yeah. The known gods. What's that? A17, it says up in the corner there. The greater deities are beings out of our comprehension that demand devotion, punishment, or sacrifice. Some are older than time. Some still sit upon thrones, and others remain invisible to our eyes. They all shape the world.
Kind of gives me Funger vibes.
Like Fear and Hunger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone else said that gave them Fear and Hunger vibes. So we got Gilak the Cursed, Dorvis the Truth, Murgo the Relentless, which sounds very Dark Soulsian.
Oh yeah, or Elden Ring-ish, kind of.
Yeah, I think Murgo is actually a character in Bloodborne, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Gervek the Great, Marco the Oracle, and Kethereth the Wrath. So I think we saw somebody with the snake guy. This guy. The Wandering Angels are really into the snake-headed, decapitated Gilak thing.
Yeah, and the prophets are into Marco.
Yeah. Greengrave, Dead Man's Garden. The capital's outskirts, Greengrave. Actually, do I have any water? Let me go get some water. I'm thirsty. Reading.
Get you a drink.
Reading. I can't deck. So I think ultimately we chose the Infant Seeker and the Lost Old Glory, yeah.
Oh, you chose that? Really? Yeah.
Didn't we? Yeah. Infant Seeker, and then you were like the Lost Old Glory because they balance each other out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This is not a choose your own adventure, just so you know. We're just pretending.
Yeah, it's a strategy guide.
Well, yeah.
Like, we're skittering through the game.
It's ultimately an alt art book, first of all, but then it's styled like it's a strategy guide. The capital's outskirts, Greengrave. Also called the Dead Man's Garden, the remains of Gervek the Great have grown alongside the mountains and now remain as one of the relics of the old world. So that was one of the gods, wasn't it? These lands,
the Great?
Yeah.
I think so.
This guy.
That was one of the gods. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Gervik.
So sounds like he's dead. These
Just
lands.
like Marco is bigoted.
These lands are considered sacred by many. It is said that those who dwell in Greengrave live longer due to the relic's influence. The capital is consumed by chaos, in constant war, headed by fools and liars, blinded by the shine of their own crowns. Sounds familiar! Bathed blood and gold, all of them think their cause is rightful. They think each sacrifice brings them closer to the death of their enemies. However, for your journey, it is for the rage of those in power. It begins the depths of... It is from the rage of those in power. It begins in the depths of Greengrave.
Nice.
Vermis. It's a hug.
Aww.
The first steps. Path to Greengrave. The isolated crypt. Once you wake up, you find yourself in a small crypt in the middle of the forest. It is cold and damp, but somehow feels comfortable. Cozy little house.
Aww.
Graveyard. House of Grey, House of Cold, House of a Thousand Doors. That's a commercial! God damn!
Oh god.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, we had to deal with the ads. Okay, House of Grey, House of Cold, House of a Thousand Doors, House of Many, House of None, House of Those No Longer Home. CR. I have no idea who CR is.
I don't know.
You might encounter the following monstrosities. Crazy Bones! He's crazy! Mad Bones!
Crazy.
He's mad!
He's mad.
Talking Skull. Insane Bones! Insanity Sands.
Oh god.
A witch's head. Shadow figures. A Bone Keeper. Ghost Mother.
Is he the Shadow Man that I see like every so often?
Yes, he's just he doesn't have a top hat.
Damn it. Well, mine doesn't have a top hat. Mine usually has a bowler hat.
Oh, the bowler hat man. Bone Keeper, Ghost Mother with newborn, Mudman, a Bone Snake, Living Grave, which is like a head with a huge rib cage, Lonely Night.
Oh.
Man. A witch head is defenseless without her tongue. It's like coming at you and you got cut off the tongue. Whack.
I mean, she's not gonna need that tongue for long.
Nah. The Hidden Whisper. What is this? Whistling Death? Deep in the grave, far from the other tombs, lies an open coffin that contains the Whistling Death, gripped lightly by its last owner. A unique deadly weapon that makes a very distinct sound when it cuts through the air. He's like, no, it's my knife! And I'm like, no, fuck you, give it to me.
Yeah. Even though I'd probably be able to equip that.
Yeah, high burial grounds. 2 statues depicted clothed figures flank the stairs that lead to the top of the graveyard. You hear the deafening noise of the cold wind cutting through the summit as you approach the end of the stairs. Once you pass through, your eyes delight with a majestic view of the whole graveyard valley. Soon you perceive a presence nearby.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, hey!
It's a man!
It's a dude!
He who is driven by sorrow, the lonely night. Wait, wasn't that guy like an enemy? He said we need to watch out for him.
Yeah. Yeah, they did say he was an enemy a little bit back.
The morning. I guess some enemies can be a problem if you're evil.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much if you're good.
Yeah. Some could even be allies if you're good.
Yeah. The morning. The longing for someone who is no more can be as deeply painful as living with an open wound. The lonely night's words. Art thou among the living? If so, this is not a place for thee. Me, I do not think that should concern a stranger in the least. I am just offering my company to a friend. Oh, he's here just to pay his amends, I guess. The Lonely Knight was defeated long ago, his path
Poor guy.
crooked the day he lost his other half. Despite his imposing appearance, he is totally harmless and will not defend himself from any attack. Oh, God. The Lonely Knight's equipment. Merciless warrior helmet. Severed finger? Spiked mace? Is this implying we can kill him and take a shit?
I think it is, because he was considered an enemy.
Yeah. Tomb's back door.
But if he's not hostile and we don't have to kill him, I don't think we should.
Yeah. Beyond
he's just giving company to someone.
We already robbed the grave. We took someone's sword.
I mean, yeah, but like, still.
Beyond the high burial grounds, there's a salient with 6 tombs. One of them hides a secret path to the Pauper's Catacombs. The following path is dangerous. Be sure to be prepared to avoid or face fierce enemies. The majority of creatures wandering these catacombs are not among the living. Okay, so Knight's over here. That's the tomb that leads to the catacombs. We got a crazy bones over here. And a crazy bones over here. And a mad bones down here.
We gotta skitter along and slap some shit.
The Pauper's Catacombs. A place filled with the corpses of those who are not remembered. Anonymous warriors, disgraced nobles, and mere peasants. The walls are overflowing with bones. The pitch-dark corridors are constantly leaking, and the air is dense with the smell of rot. Skeleton man. Mother in death. At one of the intersections of the catacombs, there's a statue depicting a mother. At the statue's feet, you can read the following inscription. Our caring mother guides us through the dark. Her lips speak sweet, tender words, and her gaze reflects our own. If you pick up the stone cranium from the ossuary, Ossuary, ossuary?
Ossuary.
And place it in the statue, a secret passage that leads to a treasure room will be revealed. The ossuary that hides the skull is located in the octagonal room at the end of the hallway, guarded by a mad bones. Twisted axe.
Ooh.
Bone cleaver. At the end of the treasure room lies an open sarcophagus, in front of what appears to be 7 skeletal figures made of stone. Inside the coffin rests the bone cleaver. Those who come across this gruesome axe might wonder how bones could adapt to such particular shapes. The tales of this unusual relic talk about warriors who wielded weapons made of bone and eventually submitted to them, allowing their weapons to merge with their flesh and bones, becoming one with them. It is thought that only 2 of these weapons remain in existence. That sounds like bad juju to me.
Yeah, that smells like some terrible stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I would want a weapon that is tempted to fuse with my flesh, you know?
Yeah.
Beware of the statues. If you pick up the axe, the 7 statues will come to life and try to kill you. Is it worth the risk? Nah, I think we just leave it.
let's leave that. I don't want the axe to just try to fuse with me every single day.
I don't want it. The Stone Stalkers. Skeletal statue. Ominous looking sculpture that may come to life at some point. Once a statue targets its prey, it starts moving slowly towards the victim wherever it's not looking. Oh god. They make almost no sound all the while despite moving their size and weight. If by any chance one of these statues catches you off guard and grabs you, its excessive strength can crush you in a matter of seconds. Sounds like SCP, was it 173? Is that what the one is?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's 173 that does that.
Yeah. Also called Peanut, the statue.
Yeah. Vermis. Stone scholar leaving the capital behind on a journey of self-discovery and knowledge-seeking. The Frightening Frog Night. The catacombs are like a labyrinth, for all the hallways look similar, covered in bones and impregnated with the smell of flesh. Every corner is a threat, and for those that wander through the halls, the shadows never felt more alive, dancing in the corners of their eyes. Huddled in a corner, shivering and muttering about the dead, you find the knight wearing an ornate dark green armor, polished as if never faced an opponent before. But that probably stands out most about him is his frog-shaped helm, which he clings to in fear. It's his voice is filled with dread. "Oh gods, please help me, the horror! I cannot look at them, rotten, dismembered, torn to shreds, and yet standing up, looking at me. Please go away, I cannot help you. Stop this madness." Interesting. See? If you come back to this spot a few hours later, you will discover that the frightened knight is now dead. Oh. Still in the same corner you originally found him, he was not ready to face the horrors of the darkness and the unknown. If you loot his body, you will find the Ring of 1,000 Eyes. Allows its wearer to see those who are no longer among the living, but also to be seen by them. So it's kind of a two-way street there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a two-way road where one, you could see the dead, but you're gonna be seen by them and probably get fucked up by them, maybe.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yep. Exiled Sentinel armor. Sentinel armor set for a faraway land. Very heavy and ornate, painted with green with bronze details. A piece of written cloth can be found inside one of the gauntlets. Do not dare return without a cure. Well, I don't think he dared.
Dead.
He did not dare to return.
I don't think he dared to return at all. I think he's just kind of dead.
he do
Pardon me for sounding so dark with that. It's kind of a given.
Yeah. Let's see. Catacombs exit. Are those jawbones? Yeah.
Looks like it.
At the very end of the catacombs, you find yourself in a long tunnel. The tunnel is immersed in silence and has no doors or corners, and its floor is full of rotting bodies and bones. The last thing you notice is the blinding light at the end of the corridor. A pleasing cold breeze comes from it, slightly alleviating the odor. As you get closer to the egress, the piles of corpses in front of you start twitching and convulsing. You notice how the remains start clustering, soon casting a nightmare shadow over you. The Stench Champion. The remains move in a strangely human way, trying to mimic the warrior they once were, as if they're not conscious of their own new body. As the name suggests, the smell coming from the champion is unbearable. If you choose to fight, you must hold your breath or change your position to use the breeze in your favor. Yeah, makes sense.
Basically, be a little bit upwind.
Yeah, there's huge bugs in it and shit.
Oh God. There's also lots of bones in him.
There's a rib cage there, and a rib cage there, and skull there, and yeah.
It's like two people in one.
It's multiple. There's an arm there, an arm there. Fun times.
Great.
Are these some tongueless witches? I don't know. Silver Swamp outskirts. Stone bricks on the ground sink into the pearly waters of the silver swamp as the path extends. In front of you can only distinguish a flat landscape covered in cloudy waters and sweeping willows. Excuse me. All enveloped in thick veil of mist, the calm is almost haunting. The drowsy night below the tree. You notice how the air is getting warmer and more gentle, like a summer breeze. You barely feel the tepid water on your feet. Soon you distinguish a distant figure resting below a tree. Over here, friend. I did not expect to find anyone in a place such as this. However, I must warn you about the swamp. You see, it may look like a quiet, peaceful landscape to wander through, but is far from that, I am afraid. Once you enter the mist, there is no way out. You will get lost, or worse, you might fall asleep, which means certain death. Witchcraft, I assume. So that must be what slumber means. That's being the bad thing.
Yep.
So if you seek a place to rest your bones, this is the perfect spot, close enough to enjoy the bait without falling into the trap. But if what you desire is among those enchanted waters, I will not hold you back. Hands you the following item. Night Watch Mushroom, commonly used by the night guards to stay awake. If you so wish, you can rest under the tree with the night, but remember that your journey must continue. Yeah, I think we can take a little nap. Nappy nap?
Yeah, nappy nap.
Vermis, I'm having a great time. Fuck you, Griffith.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Griffith.
Goodbye, Griffith.
You're gonna get fucking annihilated.
The
Even
silver.
though I don't think that's Griffith.
I'm obviously making a joke. It's not
I'm
Griffith.
very dumb.
This is not in any way related to Berserk.
Yeah, because I physically have like 6 of the big hardcover books, like sat by me.
The Silver Swamp. Once you cross into the mist, the atmosphere fills the violent silence that is only broken by the sound of your footsteps in the water. Your eyelids keep getting heavier and your body feels tired. The Silver Swamp is a land of illusions and apparitions. The ghosts of the ones who never came back from the mists are now damned to wander around these silver waters for all serenity. We see the saddest effect of slumber right here.
Oh, yeah.
The Phantom Parade. Marching shapes you might encounter among your journey through the mist. Old man, smiling and giggling a little bit, covered in black. Tall figure, an empty, dark cloak standing ominously. Damsel, with a sorrowful look, she stands at the distance staring at you. Hag. Her hood hides the solemn expression. She is accompanied by a small beast. Man in pain, screaming and shaking his head violently while the rest of his body is frozen. Corpse lying on the water wearing a chain mail covered by dry blood and dents. Man facing away, always facing away even if you try to meet his eyes. The Fanatic, wearing some kind of ceremonial robe covered with a mask with jewels over his eyes. Faceless mother, holding a crying newborn with care. Woman vomiting. Young woman vomiting violently while moaning in agony. She is completely naked, leaning on the ground. Frightened woman, with a permanent expression of absolute terror, wearing a dirty frock with a urine stain. Lovely.
Oh, Lord.
Hiding man, behind a tree, naked, emanating a threatening aura. I would assume so.
Good Lord.
And lots of naked people.
That's a lot of naked people.
Smoke and shadows. After what seems like hours of walking, the end of the swamp remains to be seen. There is not a single structure nor traveler in sight, just smoke and shadows. Shadow figure. If a shadow figure is nearby, you will start to feel uneasy, a pressure building in your chest, and if you hear its piercing scream, it'll be too late. Dread will fill your body. Within the calm of the mist, your ears hear nothing besides your footsteps in the water, but your eyes can distinguish subtle silhouettes slowly moving around you. If you walk toward one of them to find out who hides in the fog, you will find nothing but a whisper. Do not turn your back to the shadows. Let's see the dread status effect here.
Oh, man.
I'm thirsty. Anyway. The Merging Visage. The visage of an old man slowly emerges from the water in complete silence. His eyes are hollow like a mask, and his jaw is detached from the rest of his head, tangled in his beard. It kind of looks like that creature from Spirited Away after she cures as she cures one creature and it turns into the dragon with a head like that.
Yeah, one of the spirits of the rivers.
Yeah. You hear a voice inside your head. Everlasting shadows cast by fibbing fires? Rotting beds with silver sheets, a sanctum for the cold. Our eyes are backward. The visage disappears. Like, what? What was that?
Oh boy.
Mushroom consumption. The more time you spend in the mist, the more tired you feel. Eventually, you are fighting to stay conscious. If you happen to have a night watch mushroom, it'll help you stay awake a little longer. If that is not the case, you can always pinch yourself. A shadow stands...
Well, we are like two people, so like we can switch off like who is on watch.
Well, I mean, I suppose you're walking and you're falling asleep at the same time. That's the problem.
I could pinch you and you could pinch me.
Oh, gay! A shadow stands near you. This one is unlike the others. You can clearly hear footsteps and the rattling of armor coming from it. It appears to be muttering, "My path is written, my sword is unbreakable," as some kind of mantra. When you get closer, the shadow notices your presence and draws its sword. The lost paladin, exhausted by the mist. Beyond shadow, return to the fog. You will not fool me twice. You think you're an illusion.
Oh, shit.
In an attempt to land the first blow, he suddenly loses balance and falls in front of you. Holding onto your shoulders with the little strength he has left, his tenuous voice mutters, "Why is my armor so heavy?" Then he collapses in the water. Now that he is unconscious, you can choose to steal his sword. Likewise, it is up to you to end or spare his life. What do you want to do?
Let's get him out of the water, because he was probably attacking us because he thought we were fake. But just because he fell on us... Yeah, let's get him out of the water.
The unbreakable path. This blade shines in various colors like oil and feels oddly light for its size. A silver lullaby. I think it doesn't really give you a conclusion on that. A silver lullaby. At this point, it is becoming impossible to fight your sleep. You have brief moments of consciousness between head nods and stubbles, during which you implore yourself not to fall asleep. At times you feel like you are close to making it through the swamp, but you can no longer distinguish between reality and glimpses of dreams. Once you fall to the ground, you feel defeated, as if a long fight had just ended and now you're waiting for the enemy's death blow. Yeah, there's like little interesting, this says figure 20087. There's like little print like marks all throughout this. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So we're almost halfway through the book. We're gonna get to the pestilent mines, but I'm gonna stop here because we're at an hour. So join us for more Vermis in the next video.
Yeah.